Steady. Can't knock over the flashlight.
No, don't want to do that.
Irving was right. This is a great movie.
It really is. I mean,
It's still really crowded in there, too.
it really was, and like, I think, the crowd in there really speaks to the longevity of this movie. Is there was people older than us and people significantly younger.
Oh, there were
than
teenagers
us.
in there.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's the thing about this movie and a lot of the John Hughes movies is, they're dated in the sense that this is a very 80s movie.
But the themes of it aren't dated.
The themes aren't dated at all, and I think that's why it's still pulling in people 30 years later.
Oh, when we went to go see
Yeah.
the Fathom re-release of Back to the Future, there was barely a seat open in the place.
Yeah.
And, excuse me. And by the end of it, poor Anthony Michael Hall is still single.
Everybody else gets to hook up but the nerdy guy. And watching this movie just makes me go, man, we need an Anthony Michael Hall wig for Nick.
He did look a little like Nick.
He looks a lot like
Yeah,
Nick. It's
I can
like the
see it
same
now.
face shape and nose shape and everything.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean,
Yeah.
we were talking outside, like, you mentioned, like, yeah, you could tell it takes place in the 80s and everything. We were talking outside, and I said, I miss it in movies where you could scream and windows would break.
Yeah. Yeah.
Estevez rocks.
He does.
Man, I
He
miss
is-
Emilio Estevez movies.
I do too. Fucking
Everyone's great in this fucking movie. It's The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
You guys have all seen this movie. It's fantastic. I mean, it hasn't been that long ago that I've seen it, that I've sat down and watched it.
I don't think I've actually sat down and watched this movie in at least over 5 years, maybe longer. I've seen bits and parts. It's on TV all the goddamn time, so it's like, oh, Breakfast Club's on TV. Watch it for a half hour and be like, yeah, I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Or you just catch parts of it in between stuff, and it's like, I'm never lost, But I think this is the first time in a long time that I've actually, like, sat down and actually, like, watched the whole movie with no distractions, like, no, I am here specifically to watch this movie. And it made me realize some things that made me realize, A, how fucking old I am.
30 years ago, man.
Yeah.
30th anniversary.
So I was 2 when this movie came out.
Uh-huh.
And it just makes me do math and shit like that in my brain. Like, fuck, I'm getting old. But also my perspective on the characters.
Yeah.
It's like the principal in it. And I was saying this, yeah, he's a prick.
But he is,
come on!
But he is also there on a Saturday, goddammit.
And they're just like destroying that fucking school. Those 5 kids did thousands of dollars in property damage.
They are all gonna be back next Saturday.
Oh, no shit.
The smell, there's books torn apart, smells like pot in here, there's a broken door!
Half the ceiling's gone.
What was that ruckus? What ruckus, sir?
Yeah. So, yeah, he's a prick, and he's an unlikable character, but at the same time, like, now as an adult, I'm sitting there watching it like, yeah, but you little shitbags.
Like, he does take
Yeah.
it too far when he throws Judd Nelson in a closet and tries to get him to punch him.
Yeah, no, that's taking it far too far. It's like I said a few minutes ago we were talking, is like, I like it a little bit now to, like, now that I'm adult watching One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest through. And through the entire movie, I'm still rooting for Jack. I'm still rooting for Jack, but at the same time, I feel really bad for Nurse Ratched.
She's gotta put up with this shit.
No, exactly. Like, she is there specifically to try and help people. She is not a villain with bad intent. She's just an obstacle in Jack Nicholson's way. It's not her fucking fault that he's lied to be there.
Yeah.
And then he throws everything into disarray. Like, yeah, she does take it too far.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, reverse the perspective. Like, that motherfucker has it coming. If the movie was about her, he is much more of a villain than she is to him.
And like they do in Cuckoo's Nest, and like they do here, while Mr. Vernon, a prick,
They try and give you that perspective a little bit.
they do. When he's talking to Carl, the
Yeah.
janitor, the kids haven't changed, just you've been doing this for 22 years.
Yeah.
You know, it humanizes every single character in this
Carl's
movie.
the most likable character in the entire movie.
I love that he was in the opening featurette.
Oh, yeah.
Carl's in the. They did a feature. It's probably on the Blu-ray that's coming out. They do a featurette at the beginning of it,
And it's
by the end of it, I was honestly like, "Well, you've just showed me the entire movie."
Yeah, and all it is it's people that were in the movie or filmmakers that have tried to make movies like it, like sucking dick about the movie, and of course Diablo Cody bitching that fucking Ali Sheedy changes as a character by the end.
She was, but she did look better before she changed.
I don't disagree, but at the same time, it's like I think Diablo Cody was putting weight, and it's the double-edged sword of this movie is you can. At certain points in your life, you can really find someone. I guess most people, for me, it's split up a little more. But you find someone to relate to, and you latch on.
Yeah.
But I think she missed the point. Like she's like, "Oh, the character I relate to changed." Well, all of them did, except for Judd Nelson, who stays a dick.
There was one thing that I did forget about the movie, and it has to do with the ending. Like I said, it's probably only been like 5 years since last time I saw it. When I was a kid, I watched between this, 16 Candles, Weird Science. Those
of the Hughes movies, yeah, Weird Science is my
movies.
go-to.
Oh yeah, one of the best shenanigans movies ever made.
Exactly.
I must have seen these movies hundreds of times when I was a kid. Because my folks, it was probably 86 or 87 when I first saw this movie. Because my mom didn't give a shit. She's like, here, you can watch whatever the fuck you want.
But this movie's harmless.
Yeah, it is. It is, absolutely. But at the end, when Claire is with Bender and they're kind of making out or they're kissing, like I forgot are they doing that with like her dad sitting right there in the car? I forgot about that.
Well, and that's the arrangement they make is to like just they're gonna do this to fuck with people, and it's like
I get it.
And like at the same time in watching the movie, like the movie needs Judd Nelson to have an arc.
Yeah,
it needs that character, and he's funny.
He is very funny.
Some of them are charming, and
he's got that Nelson stare too. That's hilarious.
Yeah, and she's charming in her own way. And has little moments, and she's cute and lovable in the prom queen. But at the same time, they're all the characters in the movie, they're horrible people. Like, yeah, she's brutally honest, but brutally honest, like in a mean-spirited way.
Yeah, because it's not like she's. It's not like what she says, when she's talking about how, like, really, are we going to be friends come Monday? It's not like what she says doesn't have any truth to it, but...
But did it need to be said?
Time and place, I guess, if there needs to be a time and place for that. I don't know. But like it does with her, like it does with Judd Nelson and all the other characters, and in Mr. Vernon, too, they are in a poorly written movie, these would just simply be... stereotypes.
But that's the idea. The whole concept of the movie is to break through the stereotypes.
Exactly. And it humanizes every single one of them in that they're actually people beyond these stereotypes. And they have problems that even if maybe you didn't have any of these problems growing up, you probably know somebody who did. You can certainly empathize with these characters.
There's always something to relate to, even it's because he picked those niches of characters and fleshed them out. Because there's the jock, but he's not a one-sided jock character. Like he's got a weird moral code in it that he's trying to, but it's so it's like he's not even sure of it.
Yeah. It's like he says in the movie, a lot of the shit he does to impress his dad, who he doesn't even like. And then there's Ali Sheedy, who doesn't even need to be, the character didn't even get detention. She's just there. I've got nothing to do.
Or she didn't want to admit why she was there. That's a possibility. Now,
there is a possibility.
Now watching it as an adult, I'm like, well, she did just say that she's a compulsive liar.
She did. But she also seems the type who would just simply go there.
Yeah,
just cause.
Yeah.
I had
and make her. No wonder her parents just drove away. They're like, "You're really making us do this."
Yeah, you're really. Fuck. All right, fine.
I'll drive you to school.
Whatever. You got nothing else to do today. Wake up early on a Saturday. Fine.
Yeah.
There was not if I was to relate to any character, because I didn't have a lot of problems that a lot of these kids in this movie
I
have.
had none of the problems these kids had.
Yeah, me neither. If I was
the normal teenage ostracism, you know.
normal shit like that. The one that I would say would be like the closest to me now Ali Sheedy's character was more like people that I hung out with in high school, but me personally is like take Anthony Michael Hall's lines that he has in the movie and make them sarcastic.
Yeah.
That's me in high school. Like I would be like, okay, when Judd Nelson and Emilio Estevez are fighting, Anthony Michael Hall comes up to him like, hey guys, come on, like that. That would be me, but sarcastic. I was Chandler Bing as a teenager in high school.
Oh,
like
I know, I was there.
I was this sarcastic, like I would be the guy like who would say what Anthony Michael Hall is saying, but not be genuine. Like, guys, come on, I really think we should just write our paper.
Yeah, the only character I can't relate to on any level whatsoever is fucking why am I blanking on names? There's 5 actors in the fucking movie. The redhead bitch.
Molly Ringwald.
Yeah, Molly Ringwald. The most famous of them at the time. I can't remember her name. And I stopped doing drugs. I need to go
Now
back.
I can't fucking remember names.
Dude, it's weird. It's like tracers. No, but the only person I can't relate to at all is Molly Ringwald. Like, so in high school, like Judd Nelson, I hated everybody. But I had no fucking reason to. I was just a spiteful fucking teenage asshole. But I was the weird art kid. I did well in school. I was an editor in the school newspaper, and I was on the Literary Society, so I could throw that at the Anthony Michael Hall character. And I did play sports, so I can go that way too with Emilio Estevez. But at the same time, it's just like I never found the one character to latch onto. But they're all fun to watch.
Oh, yeah, because even if you're not specifically like any of these characters, you know people like this, you know what their problems are. You know, these are real problems that could exist beyond what the stereotype of their characters are. And
it's so mix and match, too. Like, you can pick things out and, like, reattach them to, like, oh, yeah, I do this, but, like, I'm more like this guy. And it's like, now I sit there and watch this movie, and I'm like, man, like, I didn't really enjoy high school, but my home life was fucking idyllic compared to these motherfuckers.
Mine too. Mine too. My parents are divorced. They just get along great. You went to a much bigger high school than I did. My school, it had jocks. It had people like Ali Sheedy, people like Claire, and definitely a lot of people like Anthony Michael Hall. But I went to a small school. While there were people who were like that, there really weren't cliques. Everyone was kind of together. I mean, there weren't just like, there's where the jocks sit, there's where everyone else sits.
My high school, like, even at the bigger high school, like, there were cliques and stuff, but they intermingled pretty well.
Yeah.
Like, that was my experience, because it was like, okay, I played soccer, but I didn't really hang out with a whole lot of the soccer kids at school. Like, I knew some of them outside of school, and I was like, so there was the stoner soccer player kids that hung out with the hippie kids that sometimes hung out with the weird art kids. Yeah. And then, you know, it just did this weird circle of stuff, and like, so some of the weird art kids also into the academic shit. And it's like, it all mixed together. Like, but it seemed to me like people just kind of went based off on who they connected with the most.
That was kind of my case too, because no one was really ostracized or anything like that where I went. If you know, a nerdy kid went up to the jocks, nothing bad would happen there or anything. I can't say there was anyone in my high school that was necessarily like John Bender, but I went to a very suburban high school where I went to a private school, so
where I went to school, I can say, like, in my class, there were a couple kids that had, like, the weird John Bendery attitude to start with. But it's like, and oddly enough, like, when I first started high school, those were the kids I kind of hung out with at school. Just basically because I didn't know who I was. Yeah. And as their shit escalated into being jerkier, I was like, I don't want to deal with you. And I just kind of walked away from that and got some shit from them. But it's really amazing because half those people, I'll never see those people again, except for one dude who was the meanest to me of those guys.
Yeah.
He's the nicest fucking guy in the world now.
Yeah.
Like, the first time I ran into him outside high school, he, like, ran up to me. He's like, I'm so sorry I was a jerk. And it's like, dude, it was high school, man. He's like,
High school,
thank
man.
you. Not, it's just like, it was high school. I don't care, dude. That's gone. He's like, awesome. Because I felt bad about it for years. And he's the nicest dude in the world now.
Yeah.
And now he's all like, he's a big, bulky dude, but he's like, I want to be a country singer. And it's like, fuck yeah, man. Do it. Follow your hillbilly dream.
I haven't seen. Every now and then I'll run into someone from high school, and it's nice when I do. Because in high school I had my friends in high school that I had my friends in high school. We'd hang out together and stuff like that. But outside of class,
the actual school grounds, yeah,
it was always like me, you, Buford, Mike, Nick. That was the
only person I went to actual school with that I really hung out with. Like, in my class that I hung out with outside of school was Nick, really.
Yeah.
Like, Buford and Mike were in grades above us,
Yeah.
so, I mean, they graduated before we did, but, yeah, like...
Do you remember Jillian at all? Because she went there.
I
mean, you went to a
don't.
big school.
I did, well, and that's the thing, it was a big school, and Jillian graduated, the year before we did, or...?
Yes. Yeah, she graduated in 2000.
So, I mean, no, it's very likely that I saw her around, but I don't think we were involved in any of the same stuff and shit like that. I remember from Jillian from after high school, when she worked at the mall.
Oh, his Hot Topic chick?
Yeah. She was Hot Topic chick.
Uh-huh.
Like, I'd go in there and look at the records and never buy anything because they all sucked.
Yeah, the first time I ever met her was I went in there to buy a couple of shirts for what we were doing cheap at the time.
Yeah.
And I needed some shirts for cheap.
But, yeah, it's stuff like that. It's like, I knew Irving in high school, but I can't say we were, like, buddies or anything, but we knew each other.
Irving I didn't meet till my early 20s when we were all hanging out at the bar together.
But that was across the front because Irving is good friends with the Hubbards, who we also knew in high school, and so like it's that cross group contamination thing.
Yeah, we were talking about this too. It is going back and looking at the movie now. It is fun, given when it's taking place and everything. It is funny seeing, what they get detention for and what they don't.
Yeah, like now, shit would be different. It's like watching this movie just makes me go, oh, Columbine did change some shit. It really did.
Finds a flare gun, goes off in his locker. He wants to kill himself. Starts a fire. All right, we'll see you on Saturday, buddy.
No, you don't see that kid again. He does not come back to school.
And John Bender gets a detention for setting off a false alarm and not writing "Open this locker and you die, fag" on his locker.
Yeah, that's acceptable. That's acceptable. Like, he tells the principal to fuck off. Like, honestly, you think about it, like, that principal's a dick, and he does, like, try and get him to fight him, but, like, he doesn't just boot him out of school. He has every right to just boot him out of school.
Yeah.
Like, expel him.
Uh-huh.
But no, he tries to keep him in school. Like, he's trying, kind of, in a way.
He's putting him in school more.
Yeah.
We'll see you next Saturday.
Also, that was the most bullshit form of like, I got in detention a few times in high school. Like, whenever I was in detention, it was, you don't talk. You don't sit in this giant cavernous room with 5 people. They put you in, like, a dank cellar room with no fucking windows, and all you're allowed to do is study.
Yeah.
Not, you can't study. Like, what? How stupid is that? You can't study. Like,
we need you to write an essay.
About your behavior.
And once Paul Gleason reads that essay at the end, he's just going to give him all detention again.
No shit. That
wasn't 1,000
It's all
words.
the property damage.
Yeah. I had Saturday detention when I was at this movie. It's full of lies. Saturday detention was nothing like this. Yeah. I had Saturday detention when I was in junior high. And the reason why I did was because I had gotten regular detention, which regular detention at this particular school I went to at the time, it was in the morning before regular classes. Well, here's the thing. Fucking bus doesn't drop you off soon enough. My parents couldn't drop me off. My dad couldn't drop me off because he's got to go to work and stuff like that. There was literally no way for me to make detention when I got it. So, if you miss detention, then you have to come back for a Saturday detention. And all that was, it was just 2 hours. It was just 2 hours. It was me and a few others, and we're just in a classroom with the teacher, who was a bitch, but now I understand.
Oh yeah, that's her fucking day off too.
Yeah, I totally understand. And we just couldn't talk. Like, it was like, I think I was reading or whatever. It's for 2 hours. It wasn't for all day.
Whenever I was in detention, I just sat there and drew. And then when anytime somebody asked me, I had so many art classes, I was like, this is for class.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to my fucking drawing.
Drawing a cowboy fucking a pig is for class. Oh wait, that was not I was drawing.
That was you. That was you. You were cowboy fucking a pig. I do have to say, the best part of this entire experience watching this was part of that shitty, like, DVD extra thing at the beginning.
Yeah.
When one of the people's like, well, you gotta think, it's My Dinner with Andre for teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
And it fucking is.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you think about it, not a whole lot happens in this movie, as far as, like, events go.
Mm-hmm.
They just sit there and talk for it.
Yeah, and it's hugely entertaining.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's funny. It is a funny movie. Yeah, like little bottle movies like that. My Dinner with Andre or Two Girls and a Guy.
Yeah. Of all of them, My Dinner with Andre might be the, like, mellowest.
Yeah, I think so. Let's not forget about My Breakfast with Blassie.
Oh, yes.
There's that one, too. I just like that, because in the opening little featurette, it was cool seeing, Judd Nelson and Ali Sheedy and them talk about it. I guess they got Carl back, but there was a couple movies. They couldn't get Molly Ringwald.
They couldn't get Emilio.
Or Emilio Estevez. What the fuck? Are they in detention?
Emilio's busy making art movies with his dad.
Sweet. He's busy making Wisdom too.
And Molly Ringwald, who knows what the fuck she's doing? She's being Molly Ringwald.
God damn, she's still gorgeous too.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I actually think she looks better with age. And watching this movie, it's just like, yeah, I know she's only like 16 and all 16-year-olds are kind of awkward looking, but like, when I was like a teenager watching that movie, the one I always thought was the hottest was definitely Ali Sheedy.
Me too. Even I'll say that now.
Molly Ringwald
Ali Sheedy's more my type in this than.
But even Molly Ringwald, she's got kind of like, she was at that weird awkward age where she's breathing out of her mouth a little too much, like the braces just came off or were just about to go on. You know what I mean? Like, it was
still cute.
Yeah, still cute, but like she turned out to be drop dead gorgeous. I think she just had to grow into it. It's also, it's like fucking Anthony Michael Hall. He did not stay small in Dweeby.
No,
that dude is huge.
Once Johnny B. Good came around, he's playing jock football player, and then Edward Scissorhands. Yeah. What the fuck? I remember when he tried doing that one action movie when he still looked like this. I think Out of Bounds is what it was called. It's like, this seems weird. But then Edward Scissorhands and Anthony Michael Hall, holy fuck, he would probably kill John Bender.
Yeah.
He would shoot him.
Yeah, and that was funny watching this too. Like, I know Bender's supposed to be the big tough guy, but not really that tough. But supposed to be like, I'd rather fight anyone else in this. I'd rather fight him than anyone else in this movie because he's the most predictable.
Yeah, Emilio Estevez gets the better of him.
Oh, Emilio Estevez whips his ass in like 3 seconds.
Yeah, like, I don't want to get into this with you, man, because I'll kill you. Ali Sheedy taking the knife.
That's the best shot in the whole movie. It's just a beautiful, like, lean in.
Yeah, still in the same frame.
Yeah. The man was a brilliant director.
Yeah.
Like, he really was. There wasn't really a wasted shot in this whole movie.
No. No, even the like when it does like, that you saw a lot in the 80s when it's going to like music video portion of the movie, like that still really works.
Yeah,
because it's fun.
And this is one of those movies that's so entertaining that like the shit in my brain that I'm like, that's completely unrealistic, I can let it slide. Like Judd Nelson in The Ceiling.
I still want to know the punchline for that.
Me too.
God damn it. It's like that story that the guy in the cemetery is telling in Halloween.
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck happened? You cut him off, Dr. Loomis.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Like, I know in the movie he falls through eventually, but I installed that kind of ceiling for a while. No. It wouldn't hold a basketball if you put it up there. Like, those things they're literally, they hang by wire. Like, they don't support weight.
He's preparing himself in case the movie Toy Soldiers happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fun stuff. Like, because the payoff is good. Him falling through the
yeah, exactly. Ceiling. The payoff is worth the ridiculousness of it,
So, what do you think became of these characters? You think these relationships lasted?
No, I don't. I really don't. I think Anthony Michael Hall got some help from probably from Judd Nelson and Emilio Estevez, and got his B and dealt with it okay with some therapy. And then he went to college and he has a good job and he's probably okay, but living kind of a dull life. But okay, I think he's probably okay. Molly Ringwald she probably became a stripper.
She grew up to become Lorelai Gilmore.
Well, just think like she's dealing with the whole broken home thing. Her parents use her against each other. Like any form of attention. Because she's obviously not going to do great in academics, I don't think.
Are you in the physics club?
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't think she's going to college to become a fucking doctor or anything.
She could marry a doctor.
Yeah, I think she's one of those people that goes to college, joins a sorority, and gets sorely disappointed when they can't get anything other than maybe a communications major. Judd Nelson, well, not that I don't think he would be intelligent enough to get out of his lifestyle. I think he drives a truck. Let's be honest.
He's a truck driver?
No. No.
Semi-truck driver?
No. He just drives a truck.
Oh, okay.
Might be a garbage truck, might be a dump truck.
He's Carl, the janitor. He could now be the janitor of Shermer High.
Possibly. You know what? Emilio Estevez probably killed himself.
Oh my god.
Honestly, he seems like the most damaged. He's got the lowest opinion of himself. Like, dude, he's obviously very emotional. I hate to say it, but that could be avoided if he stayed friends with people like Anthony Michael Hall. Because I think that was a friendship just waiting to bloom.
Yeah.
Ali Sheedy,
Ali Sheedy is now a screenwriter.
No. I don't think so. I think what happened to her was she and Emilio Estevez dated till the next year or so, and when they broke up, for any reason whatsoever, she probably went back to being a bit goth. Probably went to art school, because obviously in the one scene in the movie where she's drawing, she's incredibly talented.
She's really fucking good.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like, that's an amazing picture. She ruins it with her dandruff. And she's just doodling that shit. Like, I'm pretty good, but I'm not that good on a straight doodle.
And if she started it, because that was really early into detention, like, she drew that really quick.
Yeah, no, that was really good. So I'm thinking she went to art school, experimented with lesbianism, maybe just straight up became a lesbian.
Or she became, what was that movie that Ali Sheedy did? High Art? Is that what it was called? Same character.
Yeah, possibility. And that's all just going with the stereotypes of the characters that there are already stereotypes of.
Yeah.
So I could be wrong about any of that. Only John Hughes knows. Or knew, sadly.
Well, maybe Aaron Kruger will come along and write the sequel.
That would be great, but you know who they'll have write the sequel if they ever do a sequel to this, and I swear to God, if they'll hire Diablo Cody. You know that.
Oh yeah. I don't know what any of them are saying.
Yeah.
God damn it.
What, clutch? What?
Fuck does that mean?
Say eat my shorts, goddammit. I know that.
Yeah. You hear this? You want me to turn it up? I know what that means.
There was like 3 jokes in that I was like, eat my shorts, butthead, stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that's Simpson stuff. No, it's not. It's Breakfast Club stuff.
Oh yeah, 4 years before The Simpsons.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, wow, okay.
Bart Simpson will grow up to become John Bender. That's what happens whenever they flash forward.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Sort of. He's a little more jovial.
But if you didn't... I love it when we go see this because it's always the last time they do it.
Yeah. Go see it.
Yeah.
In like 10 more years when they do it again.
Yeah, well, they do the 40th anniversary of it. But then I'll feel really old.
You know, this is one of those movies that if you live in like a metropolitan area, if you're in like Chicago or New York or LA or even, you know, places with good independent theaters that do small run stuff, I'm betting there's got to be a couple theaters in the country that own prints of this movie that show it occasionally.
I'm sure.
Or that get prints and show
well,
it
occasionally.
Well,
hell, they did bring it back here last year when AMC was doing the classic series that they stopped doing this year.
Yeah,
we didn't go because I think I might have been out of town when that happened.
And yeah, sometimes it's just like, oh, that's showing for 2 days, we can't make it, and because a lot of them are on Sundays and the other ones are what, Wednesdays.
Well, the reason why we typically end up going. It's Sunday. Or wait, what day is this?
Today's Tuesday. Right now.
The reason why it's typically the last day that we end up seeing this is because the first day is usually Thursday. When Irving popped in here when we were reviewing Get Thursday. Hard, he was here seeing Breakfast Club, and we're busy on Thursdays seeing stuff like Get Hard. Meanwhile, Irving's having the time of his life watching a much better movie.
This and a lot of movies like this, I'm sure there's copies of it floating around that theaters get and show. And if you get the opportunity to see this in a theater, even if you've seen it on TV 1,000 times,
I have seen this 1,000 times.
It's
awesome.
It's worth going to the theater to see stuff like this, because you got to think too, like, when are you going to have the chance again? If you have that opportunity to see a movie that you know you like in the theater, even if you have it on DVD at home, like, there is something about being in a theater with an audience that is enjoying the experience.
Which this audience was held in, and
like,
I was
everybody was laughing at the right moments and stuff. Like, it was the right kind of, like, big crowded experience. Like, you're having fun with the movie. But yeah, when you have the opportunity to see stuff like this in the big screen, you absolutely should, I think.
Yeah.
Because you see more, you catch more. It's
absolutely.
It's
like all the ones that we've gone to see, whether it was Dirty Harry, which we've seen many, many times before, Dirty Harry, or Brian and I at The Shining, or
we went and saw Psycho.
Yes.
Like, I don't know how many times I've seen Psycho.
Yeah.
But seeing that on the big screen was it was almost a different movie.
Same with me and Sarah when we saw Rear Window.
Yeah.
And this is, okay, what are the next two that Fathom's doing? It's next month, and it's April. They're in April. It's the 20th anniversary of Friday.
Which I'm completely down for.
Which I don't like as much as The Breakfast Club.
I know.
But I haven't seen it in 20 years. Like, I don't know how that movie will hold up for me.
I have seen it in the past couple of years. It's dated, but it's dated, and it's I think it's funnier now. Because it's like, oh yeah, they did say shit like that.
And there's also The Sound of Music.
Not going.
Sarah and I will be watching that.
Hate that fucking movie.
I haven't seen it since grade school. I remember it not being my taste.
Everybody by now knows that I'm classic hating Dave.
Meanwhile, you've recommended a lot of classics.
Well, yeah. I think I have a very specific taste in the classics.
Me too. I think I like. Yeah. I think I like some more of them than you might. But there's ones that I do have a specific style of old movie that I like versus like. I like musicals, but Sound of Music's not really my thing. Granted, I don't know, maybe it'll age fine for me. But I mean, actually, the thing with that is, we're still gonna do a video on it, but we're not gonna be seeing it in theaters because that's being re-released when I'm gonna be doing Lewis's movie.
Yeah.
So Sarah and I are just gonna be watching it at, like, you guys' place and talking about it in the car, which honestly sort of glad it's like a 3-hour movie, and like
sometimes you need to be able to like stop and smoke a cigarette and have a break.
Yeah, for a movie it's like 3 hours, and it's not, and I don't think it's a bad movie, but it's not my thing, really. Breakfast Club, meanwhile, totally my thing. I'm glad doing like this gets us out here and gets to see this stuff.
No, it's a fun experience. Like, obviously we love movies. This is what we do, but it's 10 years ago I never really would have thought I'd get to see The Breakfast Club on the big screen.
No, me neither.
Because they didn't do re-releases like this, and we lived in this town, which you didn't get to do stuff like this. As soon as I moved to Chicago, I was like, well, wait, I can go see this right now? Yeah, I'm going.
I mean, I can go see Clockwork Orange at 10 p.m. on a Wednesday? Fuck yeah,
exactly. Like, you could do that shit, and but like, it's like, now that they're doing this stuff, take advantage of it. Pay attention. Look at the list. If it's something like, even if you've seen it once or seen it 100 times, if it's something, or haven't seen it and you think you might go, it's worth it.
Hell yeah, it's a lot of fun. And okay, for Patreon people, this Thursday is Furious 7. I don't know what next week is.
The week after? Here.
Oh, wait, I think it might be Unfriended.
It might be.
And Paul Blart 2.
Oh, God.
I think. Because I remember we looked it up the other day.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'd rather go see Unfriended if it comes to it.
Oh, yeah, me too.
And Unfriended looks so bad. Somebody in the comments from last week said that somebody was telling them that was a really good movie.
It's actually not getting bad reviews.
I don't care. It looks so fucking bad. Like, it's not the worst concept ever for like a haunting movie, but it just looks so fucking bad. Like, it's Furious 7,
Furious 7, Furious 7. I see. Yeah, because I remember
Furious 7 this week. And I guess next week, next week is Longest Ride.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
The Longest Ride, what else? Just Longest Ride?
I guess Ex Machina, if it comes here.
I hope it does.
Yeah, if that comes here, that'll be that too. But yeah, looks like that. And then the week after, we get Paul Blart and Unfriended.
Nice.
And then the week after that...
The week after that, I'll be in wherever Lewis's movie is shooting.
The week after that, The Water Diviner, which... and then,
hey, Lewis, I want to go see Water Diviner.
And then we go into Little Boy.
2 for Little Boy?
Yeah. 2 for Little Boy, please.
I'm going to be out of town when Little Boy is out? What the fuck?
You might be back for that. That's
I'll grab somebody up there. Hey Joe, you want to go see Little Boy?
That's April 24th.
Hey, I'll still be up there. I'll be gone the 17th through the 17th through the 27th, I think.
Okay. Well, and then May starts and we go into the golden age of 2015.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good summer for movies, I think.
If anything, we'll get a lot of comments.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Get ready, kids.
See ya.